Hello everybody, welcome back. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you like these videos. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to go over putting. In the previous videos we've gone over how to swing the golf club, how to move your body to hit the shots. Now we're going to go over and explore putting through several episodes. So why is putting so important? Putting is the most important part of the golf game. The object of golf is to put the ball into the hole. And this is the object, the tool that we use to put the ball into the hole. This is known as the putter or the putter because I put it into the hole with this. Putting accounts for about 25 to 60% of your shots, depending on how good you are. So you're going to have more putts on your scorecard than any other stroke, more than driving, more than iron play, more than chipping. Putting will allot for the majority of your strokes. So the easiest way to lower scores is to have less putts. Improve your putting. Even though putting is one of the simplest, easiest shots, it's actually one of the most challenging and difficult. It has driven numerous golfers crazy. So we're going to explore some fundamentals that you can apply to improve your putting immediately. Despite the challenge, the good thing about putting is that it's relatively easy to practice. You can practice anywhere. It's not like you need hundreds of yards to be able to practice. Like if you were hitting a driver, you can practice in your room, on carpet, on floor. You can just stroke your putter. You don't even have to, swing, so you can stroke a putter inside. So you have plenty of place to practice, and just a little bit of practice will go a long way in your putting. The other good thing about putting is that it doesn't really require that much athletic ability. You don't have to be very strong, you don't necessarily have to be very flexible, and it's something that you can become very good at. In other words, you can become very good at putting just by practicing. Putting is often overlooked by most amateur golfers because it's seemingly simple. It seems easy to make a putt from this distance, seems like a no-brainer that you could put it in the hole. Nevertheless, these putts give us a lot of trouble, which is why you see most of your buddies raking these putts. They don't even bother to try to make them because they can't deal with the frustration of actually missing those putts. But we're going to learn how to actually try to put a lot of these putts in. Stay tuned. So we're going to start with the grip. How do we hold the putter? How you hold the putter doesn't really matter. There have been numerous ways that have been demonstrated over time of how to hold the putter. A variety of different grips and new ways are still being tested and tried. Honestly, I don't really think that it matters all that much. I have my preferable grip, which I will show you, but really I don't think that it's the actual grip that you use is that important. There are, however, a couple of foundations and fundamentals you want to keep in mind when you do establish your grip. One of those is that you want typically to have the putter traveling through your hand. You want this shaft to come through the meat of your hand like this. This was not so when we were hitting balls. When you're hitting the swing, you want to grip it, like this so that we can have rotation. But here we're trying to minimize rotation. We want to keep the face relatively straight. Any amount of face angle rotation will result in missed putts. We'll discuss more about this later. I'll give you the actual numbers on this, about the angle of error here. But essentially your grip needs to be such that you can maintain the face as straight as possible with no rotation. We don't want to rotate the hands at all. In order to do that, it's helpful to have the putter coming through the hand, through the palm. I have the shaft of the putter coming in between my two meat pads here. So it's coming right through the middle of my hand, like this. Another foundation of putting that is often overlooked is attempting to have the putter shaft straight with your forearm. It's very helpful to have the forearm and the putter shaft relatively straight. In other words, I don't really want to putt like this, where my arms are at this angle and the shaft is at that angle, nor do I want to putt with my hands low where my arms are at this angle and the putter is coming out. It's much easier to have only one angle, and that is 180 degrees between your forearm and the shaft. So if you can get your shaft and your forearm straight, you will already be in a much better position to putt. I like to use as my grip what I call the dual pistol grip. I have two guns, one for the each of ya. So I hold my hands like this, and I put the club into my hand so that it fits just like that. My finger is actually going down the shaft. This helps stability and control. And I put this hand on there like that so it fits and it's straight with my arm. So now I'm ready to putt. So on the ground, it would look something like that, where the shaft is straight with my arm. And then the other hand overlaps this grip like this. So they're very close together, almost symmetrical, almost in the same place. You can see my grip here. And because they're symmetrical, this allows us to square the shoulders a lot more. If the hand is low, it causes the right shoulder to drop, which may or may not be preferable. But having the hands almost equally placed on the club allows the shoulders to be rather square. Now you have to make a decision when you putt of whether you're going to have the club more in your left hand or more in your right hand. It's kind of challenging and difficult to get both hands on there equally. In other words, that the surface area that's touching the hand is the same. As you see, if I try to put my hand, my finger would have to come on top of my other fingers in order to meet. I can't put this one on the shaft and this one on the shaft. There's just nowhere for it to go. So I either have to have it more in the right or the left. It's very challenging to get them all on there unless I separated my hands quite a bit or I didn't put one of the fingers up. Again, you can try and experiment with all these different types of grips, find out what works best for you. The object is to have the face straight to minimize face rotation so you can have some control. Another fundamental of putting is that we want to have the putter flat on the ground. It's designed and made to be used this way. We really don't want the putter to be toe up like this, nor do we want the putter to be toe down or heel up like this. The putter works best and will send the ball straightest if it's flat on the ground. If the toe is up, the aim is actually slightly left. If the toe is down and the heel is up, the aim is actually slightly right. So having the face flat on the ground is the best way to use the putter. It's designed this way. So try to get the putter flat on the ground. Now, keeping all of these things in mind, I'm going to show you how to set up with your putter so you will be in a good position to make a nice stroke. So when you set up to the ball, when you're ready to make your putt, put the putter flat on the ground. Stand kind of away and tall. Put the putter flat on the ground and align it as best as you can see with the line that you want to line it up on. Of course, we're going to talk more about alignment in future videos, but for now, just whatever you think is the line, try to square it up with whatever you think the line is going to be from this position. Once you have the putter flat on the ground, now begin to put your arms on it in your grip such that your arms are straight with the shaft. In other words, not like this and not like this, but that your arms are straight with the shaft. Once you have your arms straight with the shaft, you can get as close or as far away from it as you want. Longer putts, generally you're going to be a little bit further away. You need more swing. Shorter putts, we can get a little bit closer on it, like this. Notice that my arms are still straight with the shaft, whether I'm standing far away or whether I'm standing close on it. My arms are still straight with the shaft. Just having these fundamentals, you will already improve your putting and the probability that you will make a nice strike on the ball and give it a good roll. So once again, we set up with the face flat, aiming to our target, take our stance, careful not to move and turn the club head, and then I put my arms on the shaft and I decide how close or how far away I want to be from the ball. This is going to be a pretty good position to putt from. My arms are straight with the shaft, the putter is flat on the ground. Once we're set up at the putt, notice that I can have my arm straight with the shaft, and I can actually get closer to it by lowering my hands on the grip, or I can get further away by using more of the grip, depending on what kind of shot I want to hit with the putter. Typically, the shorter you grab it, the more control and shorter shots you're going to hit. The longer away, the more power, the less control you'll have. But we can adjust where we grip it by sliding up and down on the shaft and adjusting how far we are away from the ball. Notice that sliding my grip all the way to the top forces me to stand away from the ball about 3 inches or so. Holding it down here, I'm able to get that much closer to the ball because I've lowered my hands on the grip. One last thing from this angle, when you take your stance, you do want your hips a little bit back. We don't want to have our hips rolled under towards the ball standing like this because we're not very strong like that. There's no real stability there for my legs. Once I rock my hips back and push my butt back, now I'm into the ground better. This putting my butt back gives me a little bit of a counterweight for having my body forward. So now I'm very centered on my feet. I'm not really on my balls of my feet or my heels. I'm very much in the middle of them, very solid into the ground. So putting your butt back acts as a counterweight to allow you to bend down some. I'll show you the same setup now from this angle. So I put the putter flat on the ground, get my arms straight with the shaft, and then take my stance. And notice that I'm rather centered in my stance. I'm not really on the right. I'm not on the front. My hips aren't forward or back. I'm not tucked under or over. I'm just very straight, centered. My weight distribution is even between my 2 feet. It's about 50-50. I'm just very much in the middle. This is a good solid position to start from. You can modify this as necessary. Everything in putting is variable all the time. So keep these in mind. These are just fundamentals. Nothing that I say is going to be set in stone because golf has a lot of variables. It's a very difficult sport to play, so we want to be able to adapt and modify everything that we do to suit the situation that we may encounter on the course. So here's my position again from here. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for checking it out. We'll continue our study of putting in the upcoming videos where we'll discuss the stroke, the muscles used, the techniques, along with some practice exercises. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.